Welcome back to the part two of this exciting episode. We're delighted to have Meghan Graham, Manager of Marketing Communications and Digital at Xero, back with us today. In our previous conversation, we explored the crucial importance of having a website, understanding the significance of domain choices, and how websites play a pivotal role in establishing credibility in the digital landscape. We also delved into the world of domain extensions, distinguishing between the TLDs and generic domains. Meghan highlighted how your choice of domain is a reflection of your brand, with .ca domains proudly representing Canada. Today, we're continuing our deep dive into the world of .ca domains, focusing on one of the most frequently asked questions in the realm of domains. Should I go for a .ca or a .com for my website? Meghan, thank you so much for returning back to discuss on this very crucial topic. Let's dive right into it. It is one of a very common challenge that small business owners face when acquiring a domain name for their website. How can business owners navigate this common issue?
Yes, it's a great question, and thanks for having me back. I would say that just choosing a TLD can be a challenging decision for a small business owner, right? There's 1,000 different choices out there. Most people are familiar with .ca and .com, especially in Canada. And, if you're trying to choose between .ca and .com, I would first ask yourself the question, where are your customers? Where is your audience? If you're primarily trying to attract Canadians, I would certainly go with the .ca. That would be, a great alignment because .ca is for Canadians. In order to register a .ca, you have to have a Canadian presence. There's actual presence requirements for a .ca. So, but if you're thinking about expanding your business internationally, or you're thinking you may want to someday, I would also consider getting a .com. So, I would think about, what is your business? Who are you selling to? And that top level domain choice will be a reflection of that.
Meghan, how can a domain name help businesses to be portrayed local, and what are the benefits does it poses to them?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question you ask, and something that's really important to us at Xero. Actually, at Xero, we've done research over the last couple of years that have shown us that 85% of Canadians prefer to be on a .ca versus a .com when they're supporting local businesses. So that means that when you and I are searching online to make a purchase or to book a service, that means that we're preferring to be on a Canadian website. So I think that's really a great insight for small businesses when they're trying to make a decision about what type of domain they should choose for their website, right? If I know that my customers are primarily Canadian and they prefer to be on a Canadian website, then it makes sense to get a .ca domain for sure.
Now, what if a business currently operates internationally or planning to do so in the future? How should they approach the decision of which domain to choose in such a scenario? And does the choice of domain affect their international presence?
Yes, that's a great question. So if you're, selling to Canadians and internationally, I would recommend getting a .ca and a .com. Mm-hmm. So think of it as almost a domain portfolio. You're covering your bases online, and, it's brand protection as well. So by making sure that when somebody types your brand name into a browser, whether they're choosing .ca or .com, your website is going to show up for people. So it really is thinking about it really for brand protection and a domain portfolio online.
Right. So let's say someone decides to register for both the .ca and the .com domain for their business. Like, how does this dual domain setup work for their website? And how can they ensure that these domains are effectively connected to each other?
Yes. So there are a couple different things you can do if you have more than one domain. So you can do what's called domain forwarding, or you can actually do geo-targeting with a domain. So in the example of domain forwarding, let's say I had a .ca and a .com, and I wanted the .ca to show up more prominently for users. So let's say somebody typed in, if I had a business called Megan's Flowers, they typed in megansflowers.com, I could actually forward people to the .ca if I wanted to. So, and depending on what people type in, you can forward them to either the .ca or the .com. There's also geo-targeting. So based on, the user's location, you can choose which domain will show up. So a great example of that is Amazon. So Amazon, I'm sure, has a lot of domains in their portfolio, but I know myself, whenever I'm shopping on Amazon or other sites, I check which domain I'm on, right? Whether I'm on the .ca or the .com, to understand what kind of shopping experience I'm going to have. So Amazon will most likely show me the .ca when I'm in Canada and I'm located in Canada. So when you are setting up your website and registering your domain, there are, certain settings that you can choose to do domain forwarding or geo-targeting. If you're not very tech savvy, you can get somebody to do that for you, of course. But if you are a bit tech savvy, it is a pretty easy process when you are setting up your website to do so.
Now, Megan, it seems like the other top level domains, like the .app, the .shop, .ai, they're more gaining popularity in the recent times. Like, what advice would you offer to entrepreneurs and business owners who are navigating these trendy generic top level domains? And on a final note, like, are there any considerations or best practices they should be aware of when making the choice?
Yes. So, there are over 1,000 different top level domains out there, and there are more added every year. So, there, as you mentioned, there are some trendy ones like .app or .shop or .ai has become pretty popular in the last year with AI, the boom with AI. So, there are it's a bit difficult sometimes as a small business owner to figure out, well, what do I choose? Especially, what does it say about my brand? So the advice that I would give is, again, think about your business. Think about what it stands for. For example, if you're choosing something like .app, you would likely have an application for your business, or if you're choosing .shop, you would likely have an e-commerce business. For .ca, you, I'm sure, would have a Canadian business. So, and .ca really is a representation of that in your brand when you choose that as your domain. So, really, the advice that I would give is, out of the 1,000 different choices, understand how that gets represented to your audience when they go to your website.
Now, Megan, your contributions today and in the past have been, proven to really enrich our conversations that we've been having. And we're very excited to explore future opportunities to learn more from you and get some, more updates on what is happening with Xero and any updates with the programs or, solutions that you have. So thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you for having me.
As we conclude part 2 of this insightful episode, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the world of domain choices and why .ca domains hold a special place for Canadian entities and businesses. We'd also like to extend our gratitude to Meghan Graham for her expertise and for shedding light on this important aspect of online presence. We would also like to thank our partners for their support, our exclusive banking partner RBC, shipping partner UPS, and our accounting software partner Xero for their generous support. Remember, whether you're a Canadian business or serving Canadian customers, a .ca domain is a powerful choice. If you have any more questions or need guidance on your domain journey, don't hesitate to explore the resources available. Stay tuned for more engaging discussions in our upcoming episodes, and thank you for joining us today.